Guys, welcome. We are here today with a very special guest, Rachel. I am Coach Ranbir. Rachel just hit a very special event today. Is it today?
Yeah.
The 1-year Hippo-versary.
Yep.
How does it feel?
Actually, a little bit crazy. Like, I never ever thought I would be somewhere for a year and be consistent. Never.
In terms of like working out?
Yeah. I pretty much hated working out. Like, I like doing fun stuff, like maybe dancing or being silly with my friends or swimming, but like actual regimented workout, no.
What was the longest time that you ever like worked out before?
Well, when I was in high school, I was an athlete, so I had to go to practice. But even then, it was never really about practice. It was always about the games.
Fun. Yeah, playing the game.
Yeah, it was always, I just did it to get to the game.
Yeah. What things? What's been the difference? Like, what got? Because there's a lot of people who, and unfortunately, most people will never get consistent with it because I don't know if it's just our culture, our society, or you know, it's so easy to kind of fall back into our routines. But what was it that has made the difference for you?
Well, I think at the very first, it was, I came in December and they asked for New Year's goals. So I kind of thought about it for a couple weeks, something that I'd like to do. And I thought about my husband. I might get a little bit emotional, but he is so supportive of everything that I want to do. I mean, like, I say I want to run a 5K, but I'm afraid I'm going to be last. And he said, don't worry, because I'll let you finish and I'll go behind you so you won't be last. I mean, he's like just super supportive and nice. And so when I came up with my goal, I thought that I'd like to do something that will be meaningful for him, and that's to ride horses for a week in Wyoming. When I first came in, I couldn't even really get down on the floor and up more than 2 or 3 times without being exhausted, and my body hurt, and I couldn't do a body squat, or I mean, I couldn't do very much.
Lunges.
Nothing like that. So I thought, well, I'm just going to do that for him. So that was my goal. And then I just kept reminding myself I'm doing it for this, but then it also kind of morphed more into, okay, I can maybe do this, and it's not going to be the way I thought I could do it before, which was like some crazy weird fad diet and I'd lose all this weight or get weight loss surgery or something like that. It just might take me a long time. And so I just kind of started realizing, oh, I can probably do this, and it's going to take me a while, but I can. And then I really liked the people that were here, which was another thing, because I think I told you before, when I first came in and Alj was doing this spiel with me, his discussion after my first workout, he's like, yeah, it's a total community. You want to make friends. You know, there's people here that just hang out. And I was like, who are these people?
Who are these weirdos?
Yeah, there is no way. Like, I go into a gym and you don't talk to anybody. You just go in, you do what you're going to do, and you leave. And now I have to time myself so that my workouts don't take...
We have to send you home. We have to say, Rachel, we need to go to sleep. It's time for you to go home. Yeah,
like Alj says, you're talking too much. That's rest in between. So... anyways, that's probably a really long answer for your question, but
no, I think that's awesome. Everything, like, you know, first of all, the fact that you have, you know, such a supportive husband, and because we forget, or I don't know if we forget, but like, it's very easy to overlook these things because most people don't have these kinds of support systems. And so I think that's a really special thing because
I don't know many people or have met as many people who are as non-judgmental and just truly loving as he is. And so I just wanted to do something that showed him that how much I would do to do something that he wanted to do, because he always shows me what he'll do to make something happen for me.
That's beautiful. And by the way, I totally see that, because I have a chance to meet and talk with him at your first powerlifting meet, which, by the way, did you ever think that you were going to do a powerlifting meet?
No, that is crazy to me. I never thought that would happen. I don't even know what, like, this is just crazy. If you would have told me the day that I walked in here, Rachel, in a year you will have done a powerlifting meet and you'll still be here, I would have probably bet against you.
And did you even know what a powerlifting meet was?
No. I would like see Serena and Diana and Jen in the corner doing stuff, and I was like, wow, that is crazy to me. I never ever thought that it would be something that I would do.
And
I always wanted to, I'm not going to lie. From watching them, it inspired me. But I never thought I could do it.
Which is why I like, so, you know, that's why I asked you. I was like, look, when we share what we go through, like, sometimes, and I do this all the time, and it's like, oh, who am I to share my story, like, or like, you know, we kind of downplay our accomplishments or whatever. When you share that, like, it impacts so many people that you don't even know. You never know who's watching, who's getting inspired, or like who you gave them that little belief, like, oh, like, okay, maybe I can do this. So that's awesome that, you know, because those ladies are, they, like Serena, shout out Serena. Serena came in here when she first started, like, it was the same thing. She's like, oh, you know, I've never worked out before. And she was coming in once a week. And then now here we are, like, I don't even know how much weight she's lost. She's ridiculously strong.
Right. Lynn, same thing.
Lynn.
Yeah, everybody.
Jen. Shout out, Powerlifting Squad. And by the way, for those of you guys who don't know what powerlifting is, because you didn't know what it was a year ago. At one point, I didn't know what it was. Powerlifting is 3 lifts. So the competition is you do a bench press, you do a squat, and you do a deadlift. And then whatever numbers you get, you add them up, and that's your score. And that's the competition. So if you're doing powerlifting, you're doing those 3 lifts primarily. And the thing with powerlifting, though, is like there's this image of like powerlifters are like these giant, like, Hulk people who are like,
yeah, and then you go to a meet and everybody looks like normal people. Well, most, like 90% of people look like normal people.
Yep.
And they do miraculous things. Like Philip and I were talking about it after. It's like we would never guess some of the people that were pulling like 600-pound deadlifts or something. I mean, they just look like the guy that works at the grocery store.
Exactly. There was a certain point where these 3 lifts were taken over by powerlifting, and it's like, no, like, these are lifts for every human, because these are the movements that, I mean, we won't get into that, but a human being is meant to do a few number of different movements, and those happen to be the power lifts. But then, like, the power lifters kind of took that over, and I think YouTube and like Instagram have a little bit to do that, but I think it's for everybody. Like, everybody should be doing it.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. It's fun. I mean, and you feel strong.
Which is a really good feeling.
It really is.
Share a little bit.
Oh, I thought you were going to try and give me a high five.
No. You can never, by the way, so you can never have enough high five. That is actually the secret sauce. If you want to increase your deadlift, more high fives. But what is it?
I have to, like, include something on the high fives. I high five everybody now. At work, like, I'll be a business meeting and we'll be ending it and I'll high five somebody and then I'm, where is this coming? I can't stop.
But they love it, right? Because people don't get high fives.
They do. I've even high-fived a client at a bocce ball event or something. It's just...
Shout out.
High fives have been taking over.
Shout out high fives and everybody who loves high fives. Give more high fives. If there's one thing to take away, give more high fives. Why don't you share a little bit about your first meet? What was that like?
It was a lot of fun. I was a competitive person in the past, and I kept kind of talking myself out of signing up. I would say, no, just wait until you're stronger, wait until you hit this weight, wait until you can do this with this much weight, or all these kind of stupid things. And Alexis actually talked me into joining. She just said, it's fun, just do it once and you'll really like it. So I did it. And first of all, I liked that they weren't like, okay, everybody in your age and weight class come up. So it didn't seem like a competition. Like, you don't know directly who you're competing against. Yeah. Unless you go ask everybody, hey, is your name Joan Simpson or whatever. It's not going to happen.
Which is a weird thing to do. Don't do that, because you're competing against yourself, right? Like, you're competing against it. Don't be that weird. There are those people.
Yeah, I hear there are those people, but everybody was super supportive. There was a big group from San Jose Barbell, which really helped. And I've never ever felt an adrenaline rush like that in my life. As getting on that platform and completing the lift and getting off. I mean, I was like shaking.
Yeah.
It felt really good.
We got eyes on some records too.
It just so happens that there's not that many women in my age and weight class to hit a very heavy deadlift. It's heavy. The state record is right now 313 pounds in my division.
Easy.
So it could happen.
It's going to happen, definitely, and that'll be a very exciting day. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'd like to have a state record at least for a little bit. 2018.
Bella, state record holder. Like the sound of that.
Would you have thought that would have happened from the first day I walked in here?
Yeah. You don't know how many times. Okay, so like every time people think I just say things, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Your deadlift is probably around 300 pounds, like right now. But we're not gonna do that. But you are capable about it. Everyone's like, what? No, like. And then like a few weeks later, they do a 300-pound deadlift.
Beer, you laid on the floor next to me as I got up 2 or 3 times, just sitting down, getting up. And I said, I can't do this. And you said, are you uncomfortable or are you in pain? And I said, I'm uncomfortable. I literally was out of breath. There's no way you could have thought I would have done that.
Hey, that's the thing. Like, another thing Coach Alj says all the time is like, lifting weights and all this stuff that we do is such a great analogy for just in life in general. Like, we put so many limitations on what we're capable of, or like, you know, reasons not to do things. But those are all like self-imposed. Like, we set those limits. They don't really exist. Like,
no, they don't.
We don't really know what the limits are. So, you know, why think about limits or why do that to yourself, and hold yourself back from like, man, how amazing was that to go through that, and then what's going to happen in March when we do the next meet, and just in general, how does it feel day to day to come in here and lift with these guys? Like, it's just so much fun, and like that's what it's about.
It is fun, and I like telling my son, you know, I have a 21-year-old son, and he's super stoked, and I show him videos from the gym. Like, I'm like, look what happened. It's not even Halloween, and look at everybody dressed up and dancing, and he's like cracking up. He's like, I can't believe you get to go to such a cool place.
It is quite a cast of characters.
That is true.
Yeah. Any other thoughts that you would like to share about anything?
If you think even with a little inkling that you might want to come here, just come for one class. Just one. And see how you feel.
You're too kind. Last question. Best Christmas movie of all time.
Love Actually.
That's it. All right, that's a good movie. I like that movie. But it's the incorrect answer, Rachel. The correct answer is
A Dog Without a Christmas, or A
No.
Dog Named Christmas.
nope.
Snow Angels.
Nope.
Scrooged.
That is a very good one, but it is not correct.
I think it's actually Love Actually.
Do you want to hit?
No, I already know the best one.
That's false. This is hey. We can agree to disagree and still make games together.
All right, I'll agree to that.
Do you want to hit though?
No, because I already know what the best one is. Come here. What is your favorite Christmas movie?
I'm glad you asked because it also happens to be the best Christmas movie of all time. It's actually Jingle All the Way.
Is that with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. You guys already know because we've been discussing this for a while now. Jingle All the Way, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad in the same movie. It is amazing. Go watch it. Have you never seen it?
I have, but I don't remember.
We're gonna play it in class.
Okay.
So, guys, have a fantastic evening. Rachel, thank you. More high fives. Oh, and the best lift. The best lift that you can do is lifting up other people. So, boom.
Oh, I love that. That's nice. That's
Thank you.
nice.